It was Christmas, and my Uncle Rick had graciously invited the whole family for a friendly game of poker. But just as everyone was taking their seats, he announced, "We're not playing for pennies. If we're gonna play, we play for real." The relatives chuckled nervously. "How real are we talking, Rick?" He unzipped a duffel bag and slammed 10 stacks of cash onto the poker table. 10,000 a hand. If you don't have the bankroll, don't sit at the table. An awkward silence fell over the room. One by one, they shook their heads, admitting they couldn't afford stakes that high. They flattered him instead, saying he was a real big shot, a high roller even during a family game. Rick puffed out his chest, soaking in the praise. He launched into a lecture about how they all needed to be more ambitious, or they'd be poor their whole lives, too broke to even play a real man's game. That's when I quietly walked to the table. "Uncle Rick," I said, "I'll play with you." "You?" Everyone stared. Rick looked stunned for a second, then broke into a condescending smirk. "Leo, my boy, don't you make a few grand a month? What is this? A joke?" I smiled faintly. "I got a decent Christmas bonus this year, enough to keep you company for a few hands." We all knew what this was about. Rick wasn't playing poker, he was playing, "Look how rich I am." I'd been putting up with him for days. The day I got back for the holidays, I'd brought my dad a bottle of vintage Macallan. When Rick saw it, he'd scoffed, "Your dad's a simple farmer. Does a man like him even have the palate to appreciate something like that?" If my dad hadn't physically held me back, I would have exploded right then and there. But if Rick was going to use a simple game to trample on the dignity of his family, then I saw no reason to treat him like family anymore. Well, look at you doing all right for yourself," Rick sneered, his disdain palpable. "A bonus that big is almost what I make in a week. Just don't come crying to me when it's all gone." I looked at him, my stomach turning with disgust. It was the same thing every year. The holidays would start off happy, but then Rick, who owned some small-time logistics company, would start lording his success over everyone, lecturing anyone who would listen. Bragging to outsiders was one thing, but what kind of person needs to feel superior to their own family? Today, I was done indulging him. "Don't worry, I can afford to lose," I said, my voice cold as I hit him with a challenge. "I'm more worried you won't pay up when you lose." Huh, Rick's laugh was sharp. 100 grand is nothing to me. You think I'm like you, scraping by on one bonus a year? Your dad told me you're saving for a down payment to get married. It'd be a real shame if your fiancé left you when you're broke. Don't blame me when it happens." His words hung in the air, and even the other relatives flinched. What kind of uncle says that to his own nephew? I was done with the verbal sparring. "So," I said to the room, "is anyone else going to join us? You need more than 2 for a game." But seeing the tension between Rick and me, no one wanted to get caught in the crossfire. They all shook their heads, mumbling about the high stakes. Rick rolled his eyes. "Bunch of cowards. Can't even handle a $10,000 hand. How do you expect to ever get anywhere in life?" The relatives bristled, but no one dared to say a word. I took it all in, then narrowed my eyes at Rick. "If poker's a no-go, how about something a little more thrilling?" Rick's eyelids drooped with arrogance. "Name your game. Texas Hold'em, blackjack, craps, dice. I'll play you in anything." That was exactly what I wanted to hear. "Let's do dice then," I said smoothly. "Simple high roll. Whoever's higher wins. Fast and exciting." A triumphant grin spread across Rick's face. "Fine by me. Your funeral, kid. Don't regret it." My other relatives shot me looks of pure shock. They all knew Rick had spent years hustling in VIP lounges and high-stakes games. He had a legendary dice roll, a skill honed over countless nights that even the most seasoned croupiers couldn't beat. Playing dice against him was like a lamb walking into a wolf's den. Of course, I knew dice was his specialty. Still, I asked for 2 sets of dice cups, each with 5 dice inside, his preferred setup. "Hold on," Rick